Okay, as you could tell from the title, this is going to be the last update, which isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world. We've gotten most of the way into the reverse at this point. We're just making little tweaks here and there. But the reason for this is Vivyen has decided to move on now, which is totally fine. We've been together 99 weeks now, from the original reverse through the cutting and now this reverse after the cut. So I wish her nothing but the best. I hope you will as well. And thank you so much, Vivyen, for allowing us to document your progress through all this time. I'm super proud of you, and I'm looking forward to see what comes for you next. So of course, this will be the end of this reverse diet series, and I don't think I'll be doing another one anytime soon, either cutting or reversing. I've done multiple now. I've done some for myself. I've done multiple for Vivyen. There's a bunch out there. You can go to different playlists on my channel if you want to see the process itself. And this way I have more time to do other types of videos. But if you want to see how I go through different cutting phases, I am going through a cut myself right now. I just started 2 weeks ago on my Instagram. If you are not following, it's @CollinDeWay, and I will be doing weekly or bi-weekly updates on there, documenting the progress, the adjustments I'm going to make, what I'm thinking, and why I do what I do. So if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you check that out so you can follow along. Anyway, if you remember where we left off last time, weight was picking up a little bit, but I still made very small increases to her calories just because she was having a little bit of a hard time sticking to the plan, so I thought that might help. Plus, it kept it even with what she had done the previous few weeks in actual consumed calories anyway. This week, she did a great job sticking to the plan. However, she did see a pretty big spike on the scale, gaining about 1.5 pounds on average for the week. However, as always, we have to look beyond just the scale, and there's a couple things to consider here. One is she specifically mentioned in her check-in she was having a lot of dinners with higher sodium than usual, and when you have more sodium than your body's used to, you're gonna hold more weight until you pee that out. She even mentioned she noticed her fingers have been pretty swollen, which is a clear sign there's water retention happening. Not only that, but this week was her period week, which you know by now always leads to a pretty big spike on the scale for her. So with all that being said, I decided to go ahead and keep calories steady this week and go on to the next week. Now, week 13 was her period week, but we still ended up seeing a drop on the scale of 0.85 pounds, so likely even with the period, with sodium returning more to normal and some of that puffiness going away, that made a difference. So if we were to go back 2 weeks, since the last two were a little weird, that would put her up about 0.6 pounds in 2 weeks. So weight is creeping up a bit. But we always have to think big picture, and if you look back through the entire process now, she's only up less than 2 pounds from the start, only up about 1 centimeter in most of her measurements, so that's pretty fantastic progress. Not even factoring in that she's eating over 2,000 calories and doing 30 minutes of cardio with very little walking versus less than 1,400 calories and 3.5 hours of cardio with a lot of walking at the end of her cut. I asked her how she was doing with regards to food focus and hunger, which she said for the most part she's pretty good, but she also wouldn't be mad about getting some more food. So I went ahead and made a small increase this week of 3 grams of fat, which is 27 calories. But also remember, at this point, with her calories getting into a good spot, her hormones improving, she's now in a position where she can be more flexible with her macros, definitely interchange some carbs and fat macros as she sees fit to allow that extra flexibility and balance, which she's been doing anyway. Regardless, I want to keep stressing, you have to be okay with some weight gain during the reverse and not feel like you can't gain anything, right? This isn't about trying to be perfect. This is about creating balance and flexibility, so don't be tied down by that scale. Now, I want you to do this next. A lot of people get confused about calories in, calories out, and how that works. So if that's you, check this top video out next, and I'll break it down for you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.